Welcome guys. I decided to do a video today. I've been kind of down a tad bit sick here in the past week or so, but and I also haven't really done anything too interesting. So I'm going to do a little video on, we've been here 2 months now, and I'm going to give you some information on what we've done to make our move over here a lot easier. I've done a ton of research before I left, and this is basically what I came out with. Now, normally I wouldn't do this video because I've only got a handful of subscribers, and most of them are already over here in the Philippines, and the remaining subscribers are my friends and family back in the States. But I've noticed I've had a lot more views on some videos than I have subscribers. So it tells me that there's people out there watching a few videos that aren't subscribers, so they may want to be have this information. All right, first and foremost, the most important thing about coming over here is money. And I'm not talking about the money in your pocket. I'm talking about how you get your money from wherever you come from to here. As most of you know, I'm retired military, so I use USAA, who I've had for decades. Then I also opened up a Navy Federal Credit Union account, mainly because both of those banks have handled military personnel overseas. So they are used to it. They're not surprised by seeing charges or anything from overseas locations, and especially, I mean, obviously you gotta let them know. But and as far as being able to be a member of USA and NFCU, you want to look into it. You don't have to be a prior military member yourself. One of your relatives, your brother, sister, mom, dad, grandfather, I think maybe even like uncles and aunts. So you have to do some research on that. But a couple other banks I've heard. A friend of mine, Mike's Philippine Retirement, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan. Now, I've heard some good things about them. I've heard some not good things about them. I've seen various people say that if they find out that you're living overseas, that they would close your account. Then I have other people say, well, depends on how much money you have in your bank account. So just take that. Next thing is phone. It's really hard to come from the United States or Western civilization and not use your American phone. I've got T-Mobile. I spend more on my T-Mobile than I should, and I'll be looking at that in the future to get that down. But the on the phone, the T-Mobile, they did me bad. We bought new iPhone 16 Pro Maxes before we left, and because the electronics over here is more expensive than it is in the States. But it comes with 2 eSIMs. There's no physical SIM card. It's 2 eSIMs, and my plan was to open up a line here in the Philippines using that one empty eSIM. I found out T-Mobile actually blocked it. They blocked my extra eSIM, so I ended up having to buy a local phone for. I use Smart on that. Another thing you want to look at is your address. A lot of people want to maintain a U.S. or Western address for your banks, Social Security, etc. I didn't want to bother my immediate family with using their addresses, so I opened up an iPostal One account. It's pretty simple. You do have to jump through a few hoops at first, but I think it runs me like $8 a month. They'll send me an email when I get a piece of mail. What they'll do is they'll scan that outside that mail. I'll go into my account, I'll look at it. If I like it, then I'll have them open it. Then they open it and they scan it, and then I decide what to do from there, whether they send it to me or to destroy it. If it's just a junk piece of mail that I have no need to have, they just automatically shred it. Now, it does cost you, if you want them to open up your mail, it does cost you a dollar or something like that. I haven't had to open up anything yet, but it's the iPostal 1. There's other ones out there, but I chose that one because I like they got locations all across the United States. I chose Arizona because of lack of income tax for the state, and then it's also closer to the Philippines. If I had to have them mail something like, with my debit cards or credit cards here in the future, that it won't cost as much as it versus me having one in Florida. And then on that as well, make sure when you come over, stagger your credit cards, stagger your debit cards. I've got one expiring next year, then the Navy Federal doesn't expire till 2028. That way, if it expires, it'll take you a month to get it mailed here. At least you still have a valid card that you can use. Also, VPN. I didn't really understand that when I first heard about it, but VPN is a app that you put on your phones and your computers to basically disguise where you're at. Some banks, not mine, but some banks don't like the fact that you're living overseas, and then they get on there and they find out that because when you log in to your account, it shows your VPN coming out of the Philippines. But I use Surfshark, and again, that was $3 a month, something like that. And I've got it for all my laptops and phone. Next, I'm going to touch on. I really don't want to. It's a budget video, and one of the reasons I don't want to is because there's a million budget videos of the Philippines out there on YouTube. The second reason I really don't want to touch on it is because there is no correct answer on how much money do you need to survive in the Philippines. It all depends on the person. If you can handle living like a local, living like a Filipino, yeah, $800,000 a month, you're gonna be fine. But it's like, you got people that say they can, and they get over here and boy, this sucks. A friend of mine, his budget is $2,200 a month. And the smart thing about his budget is that's not his entire income coming in. Which, if he sticks to his budget, he's saving money every month. Again, depends on location. If you're in BGC and you're looking at one of your condo costing you $2,000 a month, obviously your budget's going to be a lot higher than somebody who's living in Valencia or Iloilo or even here where we're at, Sublime. As far as my budget, I don't have one, to be completely honest with you. We would have to intentionally try to spend what we bring in a month. And so, like I said, budget videos, just go look them up. And just realize that a lot of YouTubers, they'll make it seem like, unicorns and rainbows. It's not true. I've seen too many videos that show expats being broke. They come over here with $1,000 a month Social Security, and they have no money in the bank. Well, okay, well, your first few months you're going to spend more than that because you got to buy your necessities. A microwave or a coffee pot or towels, stuff like that. And so main thing is decide where you want to live, what your budget is, and then make sure you have extra. You know, have money in the bank for medical emergencies. Anything can happen. So do the research, decide what you can actually afford, and just remember there is no public assistance over there. There's no welfare, nothing. So if you're broke, you're broke. You know. So just be smart on that. Next thing is visas. Being married, we flew in on what they call a buy-in visa. It's good for 1 year, completely free. And during this year, we're getting Bella's dual citizenship back. She let her Filipino citizenship expire when she let her Philippine passport expire. So now we've got to jump through the hoops, get all that. And then once we get that, then I'll decide if I want to do the 13A visa, which is a being married to a Philippine national, or if I'm going to do a military SRRV. With the military, it'll cost me $1,500 to put into an account, and you can use that towards a purchase of a condo or even land. What I think what that's doing is showing that you're invested into the Philippines. And the advantage of the 13A is that it costs me nothing, or besides the cost to get the actual visa. But if something happens to Bella, then my 13A goes away. Or if I go on the military SRV, then no matter what happens, I'm considered a permanent resident. And they do have a regular retiree SRV. I think that requires a $15,000 down payment or deposit into an account, and you have to be at least 50 years old. But it works the same as the military, just a lot more expensive. Plans going forward. I've been in kind of constant contact with a bunch of builders. Bella decided on one that's local. It's been a little slow getting to me, and he's supposed to get with me this week to go over the structural and everything else on the house build. But it's Philippines, so I'll be surprised if I hear anything from him this week. Once I do hear from him, our plan is if it's going to take him 3 or 4 weeks to get started, then I think we're going to go and hit the road. We're going to, if we got 3 weeks, we may go up to Palawan and do that triangle up there, El Nido, Coron, all that, and then get back to the house build. Next week, this Saturday, here in a couple days, we got a wedding. My niece is getting married. They take their weddings over here extremely serious, just like Christmas. But so I'm really happy for her. You won't be seeing this on me because I'll be shaving clean to try to make myself look representable. Not sure how that's going to work, but we'll try anyway. Then early next week, I got to go back down to Angeles for another VA doctor's appointment. So we'll be leaving, I think, Sunday and then come back on Wednesday. But then our plan from there is just to hopefully start building the house and go on from there. So if anybody's got any questions or things that they would like to ask, I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff. I just picked on the top things. Give me a shout. Like I said, I've got more viewers than I have subscribers. So if you like what you see, just hit subscribe and like, and I'll continue. Any suggestions on any type of videos y'all like to see? I know when we get back down to Angeles, I'm going to do a street food video, but and hopefully I come up with some more stuff up in Bag Hill. But all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. Have a good, guys.